Wow, with you guys having really awesome, getting to talk on this important topic. But Ramesh and Rama, you remember meeting you guys the first time, meeting you, Ramesh, at Cleveland, at that home meeting, remember? And you had come from Philly and I'd come from Michigan. And I don't know, there were maybe like 5 or 6 people in that meeting.
That's right.
I don't know where they are, but you and me are diamonds, right? And you made a big difference that day in our life. And of course, Praveen Binu opened the door for me. That I really appreciate that. And also a lot of memories, meeting Kumar at a function that you had promoted, and Kumar was in the corner, and he was quoting somebody. He said, "I met this doctor, and he made a 6-figure income," and the doctor said, "Kumar, I already make a 6-figure income. Why do I need this business?" And Kumar said, "How can you live on a 6-figure income? And why does it take a full year to make 6-figure?" And I was in the corner standing. I was not even sure what business I was in. And that day I was fired up. I'm like, man, these people believe. So a lot of great memories, right, Smita?
True. I remember meeting Ramesh and Rama for the first time. Actually, Praveen and Binu introduced me to, you guys. And I saw you up on stage at the function. That's when I saw you for the first time. And you were recognized as brand new rubies. And I just loved everything about you guys. There was so much excitement and momentum. I was like, this couple is moving on. We need to latch on to them. And from that day to now, having a podcast with you guys, what an honor for us. So great. This is going to be awesome.
It is. And I'll tell you what, we've definitely spent a lot of years together building relationships. We've cried together, we've laughed together. But that's because of this team, and it's a great opportunity for us to talk about that today. The idea of this team, I know, as you mentioned, the whole Cleveland, and you actually brought 3 people with you.
Oh, yeah.
And I promoted the function so much so that I said, hey, it's a Norfolk function. There's a Chesapeake Bay out there. You can come, whatever. And the 3 others that you brought actually were not even in the Coliseum. They actually probably went to the Chesapeake Bay for sightseeing. But you stayed. You stayed, and you are here, as a diamond. And so it's a process. Similarly, we have strong relationships with our upline, Kumar and Anjali. Everything we are right now, everything we know about is because of their strong mentorship. And so definitely that's, because of the system. Along the way, we built a lot of memories, going places, driving the miles. That's the other thing. The way we built the relationship is by driving the miles together, spending time together. The good you've always been communicating very, very well throughout, with us, of course, with Kumar and Anjali and so on. The latest of the memories is what we have is when Kumar and we dressed up. He dressed up as Uncle Sam, and I did as
George
Washington.
Oh, yeah.
And we
and both from India.
And we blocked the whole traffic in.
Are you talking about me?
Oh my goodness! There you go.
The camera. Yeah.
Yes.
Say it again, please. I missed it.
And I was just saying that.
Said they were talking about me. To this room. So anyway, go ahead.
Thank you.
Love you guys.
Thank you, Kumar. And we've always been having fun. It was always, cutting loose, having fun. The one thing good about Kumar, Anjali, and us is that, our life is an open book. There's absolutely no hidden agendas. That's one thing for sure. Right, Rama?
Absolutely. I'm just thinking back when Prakash and Smita, as he said, he came for the first function, Prakash. But then soon after that, you were single then, and then you were going to get married. And the biggest surprise was Smita's picture. He showed it to us. One look at the picture, we just fell in love with you. And look at this. You just added so much value today. You're a diamond lady going on to so many higher pins and beyond, And the one thing I can tell about both of you, that you have just focused only on our strengths. You are so close to us. It's so easy to look at our weaknesses, but you just have focused on our strengths. And as Ramesh said, constantly communicating with us. Smita, you call me almost every day just to update me. And when I think about it, when we signed the dotted line, we joined for money. but we have stayed in the business for lasting relationships. Don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, talking about relationships, of course, this business is products and people. There's no question about it. The products part is easy to understand. You know, we have the Amway staff doing whatever it takes to give us the best product and the service. But it's the people part of it that not everybody understands right away upon entering into the business. And this is the most crucial part of building that relationship, because we're building teams, we are having upline, we are having downline, we are having those things going on. Relationship, and it's not just we build relationships just to survive, you know, for the relationship to survive, but it's more for it to thrive and grow in a big way. So, Prakash, then I just want to throw this back to you saying, what builds a strong relationship?
Well, I think relationships are, it's like a bank account. I think everybody has got an account in the bank of relationships. And each one has withdrawals and each one has deposits. What we know in a normal bank is you cannot withdraw unless you deposit it. If you don't have $100 in it, you can't write a $100 check.
True.
So same thing, you know, there's a lot of things that you would deposit. For example, when you're working with a downline, in working with them, you build that connection as you drive the distance with them. You do meetings for them, grand openings for them. You do all of that. And then upline, you have a tight upline relationship. Obviously, you want to, because they're the ones who open the door for you. And also, you're also modeling it for your team. So your team knows that you have a tight relationship upline. It was very easy for us to fall in love with you guys and with the, because what good is success if I reach the top and I don't have any friends? Sometimes people think success is all about money. What good is success if you all have money but you have no friends? Then that's not different than anything else. In fact, I remember the fun story when we were ready to buy a house in LA, our first house, and we had no idea. And there was a leadership that was happening. Ramesh and Kumar had come, and I know it like so clear. And I had requested you guys to come see the house before I put an offer. And so here is the realtor opening the house, and Ramesh walks in, and Kumar walks in right after him. They go through the entire house, come out with a confused look, and I'm thinking, why am my upline confused? And Ramesh asked Kumar, did you feel the same thing I felt? And Kumar said, absolutely. And he went back again. They go back for a second round, and he's like, and they come back again and says, that's confirmed. There is something really, really messed up here. And I'm like, man, I don't know what is messed up, but I'm not going to put an offer if my upline doesn't think good about this. And then Ramesh could not control it, right? You couldn't control it. And you just started laughing. And then that's when I knew it was a prank that you're trying to do. But memories like this, I think, is lifelong. And, we appreciate not just being a business partner, but I think being a friend to us. And then in today's day of Zoom meetings and Zoom to Zoom and Zooming through life, I think FaceTime, meeting people face to face, getting to know each other, listening to their story, laughing, crying together, giving a hug, patting on their back, you cannot replace that. I'm just excited about everything that's going on and ready
True,
for
the
that.
relationships are the key to the business. I remember earlier on, how Ramesh and Rama, you guys built that relationship with us. You earned our trust. And of course, it takes time and it needs a constant nourishing and, just growing, both of us growing together. And I remember, Rama, you actually leaving your two daughters, flying all the way from the East Coast to California and taking time away from your family, business, and pouring into us. You came home for a weekend, and then you would do meetings nonstop till late night, home to home, multiple covered dishes, nuts and bolts, and it's just those things. You served us. You just blew our mind with how much you cared. You genuinely wanted us to succeed. We could feel that. That is something that we just got sold on to. That we knew that you had our best. We've all, so it was never, local. And so, but still, like you said, Ramesh, I believe that relationships cannot happen without communication. There has to be that constant, consistent communication. It's like we have this 5G network, like so much in tune with uplines, thought process. That's what we want. And so I always reached out, and you were always available. You guys were both always available for us. And those things we never took for granted as a business. But eventually, we became friends and more like family now. In fact, just last week, Rama's daughter, Rasya, Kumar and Anjali's daughter, Ramesh and Rama's daughter, Rasya, Kumar and Anjali's daughter, Ritika, and our daughter, they flew to Dallas to spend time with our daughter, Sanya. And they had such a ball. It was like sisters. And it was just one family, and to think that it started all with that business relationship. So that's what's priceless for us in this business. Relationships are the glue to the business, and that's why we build it strong.
I completely agree with you, Smita. The girls had so much fun. You guys just took care of them. Ritika and Rasya
So
just
special.
enjoyed the special time. They knew that Prakash was a little bit strict, but it's okay. They had fun anyways. A couple of weeks ago, Ritika actually baked a surprise birthday cake for me.
Wow.
And guess what? We didn't even know, but Kumar, the triple diamond founder's triple diamond, made this Indian soup rasam for me for my birthday and potato fries. And both of them drove from New Jersey. I know Anjali was in Florida, but they came and surprised us at the door. It's priceless. We talk about tears, and that was a moment of a tearing moment, right, for us. And I remember way back, I even bought an iCook only because Kumar made lovely potato fries in that iCook when he was single. So it's exciting.
Yeah, and a lot of memories, a lot of things that we can talk about. But we got to be careful is that no matter how great we think a relationship is going on, we just cannot take it for granted, right? Because there is work involved on a regular basis, mentally and physically as well. Because we have to always be aware of what could break a relationship, all right? And in my mind, I think one of the most important things, as you mentioned too, one of the most important things is lack of that communication. Now, especially when things are not feeling good for you, that's why we have this regular counseling type of environment in our business, a guidance program, so that we can start to be, open ourselves up. The other very important thing that could break a relationship, most definitely, is talking behind people's back, gossip. Right? In this day and age, people love to kind of have conversations with somebody else, or murmur behind somebody's back. Eventually, it's going to kind of come back to haunt you, Cross-lining. In this business, that's a big no-no. One of the biggest violation of cardinal rules will be that, right? Because your upline has got the vested interest in your business. No one else knows your business as well as your upline. A cross line may give you ideas and opinions, but he or she does not have a vested interest in your business. So it's common sense, but that's where most relationships start to fail. And in this day and age, I would say social media. We have had many speakers talk about that. The distractions that come about, behind the social media. It's about social media is great, but when you start to follow other people and start taking opinions, negatives and irrelevant information, those things are the ones that kind of start to erode that relationship thing that happens to begin.
Oh,
right?
yes, social media, and especially for women, they need to be careful about what is distracting them and getting them carried away and thinking something else is better than what they have in their hands. When you're an upline to a team, you cannot behave like a Napoleon. You just cannot just instruct people and command them and they have to follow. It's more like you have to serve the team. You have to be gentle with people. And sometimes the people that you think are very close to you and are going places in this business, they could just get distracted and they will just fade away. And sometimes they'll spring surprises on you. Are you ready and prepared as a leader for all that, right? Which means you have to develop a very thick skin and a very soft heart. And to see people as they can be, which means we just cannot look at their imperfections and blame them or just feel bad about them. We should just look at who they can be. Don't you think, Prakash?
Yeah, yeah. In fact, one of the things that breaks relationships sometimes is ego, you know? And ego is good. Winners build business because they have ego. But also, ego is not good when it gets beyond. It's like cholesterol. There's good cholesterol and bad cholesterol, right? When you have the bad cholesterol more than it's needed, you got problems. So I read somewhere it says, you know, your head and your hat should not be, your head should not be bigger than the hat size. So, and I remember watching Kanti Gala. I mean, Kanti Gala's crown. I mean, the entire Amway looks like his, in his downline. It looks like it to me. But you go around them, you watch them, and the way they handle themselves, just so humble, so down to earth. Now, is this something that's natural? I don't know. Maybe it is, or maybe it's something that he's learned, or I don't know. This is amazing. But having said that, one of the next things that really important in relationships is loyalty. That you are, you have the friendship, you have the relationship, but you're really loyal. And and how do you become loyal? You become loyal. I was reading the meaning of loyalty. It says faithful to a cause and an ideal. And if you look at the BWW cause, of course it's a business. It's a business where there's got to be, the business has to grow. But there is the founding principles that Bill Britt talked about, which is honesty, integrity, building people up, adding value to people. It's just, like the Go Giver talks about, which everything was way before the Go Giver was written. And, the concept of fiercely loyal and fiercely independent, and so you got to be loyal, but you also have to be independent. So fiercely loyal because you're tight with the team. You're one with the team and the team is one with you, but you're also fiercely independent. Says the guy that his pants fell off at the traffic light and he's not picking up his pants. He's on the phone frantically calling and somebody says, "What the heck, man? Pick up your pants." He says, "Wait, this is the first time I'm doing it. I just want to make sure I'm checking with my upline." Now that is not called independent, right? And so, we looked at your, Ramesh and Rama, we looked at the loyalty that you had towards Kumar and Anjali and the upline. And you didn't have to teach it. You were living that by example. So we really, really appreciate that. Right?
Very true. I heard the way you move on in this business is you have your hands stretched out, one hand upline, you move on and you create that pull for your downline team. And that's how you keep moving on in this business. And that's where loyalty comes in, where I read this proverb that said, fish recognize water last. And what does that mean? Well, you see, for a fish, water is around constantly, right? It is surrounded by it. It's their environment. And it's so immersed in it that they don't even recognize it's there and take it for granted till the water becomes polluted or it's no more and can't survive. And I believe in this business, it's somewhat like that, where an IBO gets launched into business, and you get immersed into the BWW system, the upline, and they're so close working with you that sometimes you start taking it for granted. And then you realize, take a step back and think, can I build this business without an upline and a BWW team? Not possible. And that's why we wanted to stay loyal. We wanted to stay loyal to people who are loyal to us, to our dreams. And that it's just common sense, And that's why we wanted to stick to it.
No, absolutely. Talking about loyalty, support and support to the institution, we have both, right? We have our upline and the team, and also the institution called as the BWW, and of course the Amway business. And there are some misconceptions about loyalty. Typically, people think it's some sort of automatic, or it is based on position, right? Somebody up there has to have loyalty from people. It is not. It is definitely not automatic. It is absolutely not based on position. It has to be earned. It has to be nurtured. It has to be maintained. I mean, there is a lot of work that goes on, and it's mutual. It has to have both. It is every bit as important for you to be loyal to your team, but the kite's not going as far as I would like, as up as I would like it to go. If only we can cut the string, it would go farther. And the dad knows the answer, but he says he wants to teach his son the lesson. He says, okay, let me cut the string. Mm-hmm. He cuts the string. The kite starts to fly higher and higher. But then sooner, it starts to drift and starts to come down, and then it hits the ground. And the kid is so puzzled. He fetches the kite back, and he asks the father, how come? I thought when, the string was the one that's preventing the kite from going further, but when you cut the string, it actually fell back to the ground. That's when the father said, no, it is the string that was actually holding the kite. It is when the winds are poor, when the soft and not so strong, it's the string, it's the thread that holds the kite. It's the anchor, right? The moral of the story really is, I think sometimes we all feel like, we can progress quickly have we not been tied up to something. But it is that tie, that anchor, that thread that really makes us, gives us that support when we need it, and even security sometimes.
Wow.
I think for us, our anchor and our thread is our upline and the BWW system, no doubt about it. As long as we know that, we can fly as high as we want in this business. That's for sure.
Oh, right. Yes. Loyalty and accountability just cannot be taught or caught. Somebody is just having those attributes or not, really. We've heard Bill and Peggy Britt talk from stage, and Bill Britt always has said, don't bite the hand that feeds you.
Wow.
And that time I used to wonder, what was that all about? But when you build large businesses, you just know to be careful. And in today's world, it's all about using lawyers to, probably take legal action or mitigate or whatever. But Prakash and Smita and us, we just are the old-fashioned way, if you want to call it that way. Yeah. But we just believe in the firm handshake. Once we just give the word, it's done. Your word is your worth, and your worth is your word. And to have differences with your team, it's very normal, or anybody. But how you will deal with it, with respect, that is the key. It's actually imperative that you have respect for each other. Mm-hmm. And if there is a conflict to resolve, and sometimes we may have to apologize, it's okay. Mm-hmm. But it's always good to rise above the conflict and take the high road rather than just sitting and mulling over it.
So true.
Basically, I just think, at home, we know, experienced kids, when mom and dad has an argument anytime, they get nervous, they get jittery, and they feel insecure. The team is no different, you see. When, upline and downline, the line of sponsorship has some differences of opinion and start to have arguments, the team gets confused and sometimes they even crumble.
Yeah. So isn't it then the goal is to really create an atmosphere of a positive, growing, thriving, winning team?
Yeah. Actually, that's the whole idea is about building teams.
Yes. Building
teams that are designed to win, that are fighting to win, and they can coexist and they can bring out the best in each other. In fact, when you look at a team that's growing, team stands for together, everyone achieves more. And there is synergy in a team. There is everybody is working with each other. There's edification. They say that some people are like sunshine. When they come into the meeting, they bring sunshine and excitement. Some people are sunshine because when they leave the room, sunshine comes in, right? So it's so awesome, But what we have seen in the BWW system, in the open meetings, I know the open meetings are coming back soon, but uplifting, encouraging, patting somebody on the back. The camaraderie is what got us excited. Mm-hmm. All the different legs working with each other, but also the brotherhood, or people like Ramesh. We know that you've got our back, and we want to tell you that we got your back. And that is really what a team is. It's not just about making money. It's about being there in the long run. So we wanted to celebrate those victories.
You're critical of somebody, it's because their fault is different from your fault. That's all. Everybody has faults or flaws, but we choose to focus on their strengths, like how you guys have always done. and that's what builds a team. And
In fact, I just want to add this is that when you're building a team and it's united and everybody's fighting for each other and they got your back and you got their back, you're doing a meet and greet and you see somebody that you're just going there for MG1 and you find out that the guy has been through a process with somebody else and he is halfway, he's already meeting him for a meet and greet too. Integrity and unity says, back off. It's okay. This is not the last fish in the ocean. I can always find another one. But if I lose my integrity, I can't find it again. So be able to edify the guy and say, you know what, you're in the best team. I know this person, he's awesome. Listen to him. And I wish you all the best in the process. Good luck. Right?
Yeah, can't agree with you more. Unity is a blessing. And we all live as leaders in a glass house. And so many people model after us. We have to be conscious of that. Yeah. In fact, in our case, we have our daughter, New Platinum, Rati, and she lives inside the house. We cannot just do one thing and say another thing, And Ramesh and I are, of course, we are in the long haul in this business to be models for the next generation, be a huge part of Kumar and Anjali's vision, create a legacy, and continue to win championships in this business.
Absolutely. And speaking of championships, matches can be won because of skills and talent. But championships are won only because of mentorship, I believe, really. Yes. I mean, the case in point is the recently concluded Olympics, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, if you saw people from every country, every one of them, great talents, worked 4, 6, 8, 10 years for that moment. Some won the medal, some did not. And I saw a couple of interviews where they talked about everything that they did was because of their coach. It is that having that faith in their coach and the coaching is really what got them there. And that says a lot. And I know that we are almost to the end of time. So
for us, the BWW system is the biggest anchor and our coaches and mentors, isn't it?
Absolutely. That is so true. And so we will win championships, that's for sure. Thank you, Prakash and Smita, for a fantastic discussion.
What a discussion. Thank you.
Proud to be part of this amazing BWW team.
Absolutely.
It's a winning team.
We love it.
We love you, Prakash.
So many wisdom bombs. Thank you, Ramesh and Rama. We love you too.
Bye-bye.